Hi, today I'm gonna tell you about renting a car in Madeira in Portugal. And I decided to make this video after driving in Madeira gave us, me as a passenger and my husband as a driver, literally several mini heart attacks. I've never felt so tired after driving in such a beautiful place. However, it's not that bad. And let's get into it. What you should know before renting a car in Madeira. First thing first, where to book a car. This time in Madeira, we choose local rent service. It also can be economy bookings or discovery cars or any other car rental comparison sites. We chose local rent because it usually gives you cheaper prices and also can find your car without a deposit. I hate deposits. So I'll leave the link below. And it's February in Madeira, so it's kind of a low season. So our car, which is Nissan Micra, costs us €25 per day. For comparison, in July, which is a high season, the same Nissan Micra will cost you €65–70 per day. Let me show you how I use local rent, what I usually look out for when I'm booking a car. I type in Madeira, and here are 3 cities where you can pick up the car. Santa Cruz is the airport, Funchal is the capital, and Caniço is a city next to Santa Cruz. I go for Funchal, and the dates are, say, a week in August. And here are all the listings that are available for me in Madeira in August. I don't drive manual cars, so I exclude them right away. For that, I use filters. I love local rent filters as they cover pretty much everything. And let's check this Renault Clio. It's rather new, which is great, and we see a mileage limit. It's not a rare thing, but Madeira isn't that big, so it's unlikely you'll go over it. What about deposit? Oh wow, it's hefty, €1,700. Okay, let's cover the details. Click here and you'll see the comparison of different insurance plans. By the way, these are the plans from the rental agency itself, as local rent doesn't sell you their own insurance. The deductible is €1,550, which is the maximum you'll pay if something happens to the car. Some additional services, but I'm curious if there are any cars with no deposit. So filters again, no deposit. And yep, almost the same price, this Nissan Micra. Basic insurance only, an unclear deductible. Might be worth checking it at customer support, but no deposit. Next is pickup place for free. It's the rental office, which is usually in Funchal, and some paid options of getting this car to the airport or somewhere in the city. Next is your details, and that's it. Oh, change of background. What car to choose for Madeira? There are lots of manual cars, which you can literally rent for €15 per day, but the cars with automatic transmission are more expensive. They start from €30 or €40 per day. We chose, of course, the automatic car. Usually we rented the cheapest automatic cars, but not the old ones, preferably no more than 3 or 4 years old. And often we regretted our choice, complaining about why it's going so slow and yet ate so much gas, why it's so uncomfortable to drive. But Madeira taught us a lesson, and this lesson is never choose a weak car for that island. Choose something more powerful than 1-liter engine. Otherwise, the incline of the local roads will drive you crazy. Next is insurance. My least favorite thing, because who wants to pay 20 or 30 euros more per day? But yet it's your biggest budget saver when car-related things get nasty. We came to Madeira from the Azores, where we also rented a car, and it ended up badly. Igor, my partner, is a very experienced driver, and I am a very experienced passenger princess who is always watching. Yet we hit a rock and it ripped off the car's underbody protection, and bam, 500 euros said goodbye to us and were charged from my card for repair services. However, that money was quickly covered by our insurance. Basically, you have three options when it comes to insurance. An insurance from the service you're making a booking on. Usually it works as if something happened, you cover damage, and they later cover your expenses. An insurance from the car rental company, which you can buy when you're picking up the car, and it's the most expensive option. And insurance from your bank. For Madeira, we used local rent, and that's the only aggregator I know that doesn't make money from insurances. So if it's written that you have a full coverage or CDW, it means that you have an insurance straight from the rental company, which is the best. Madeira is tricky. It has narrow roads, a bit reckless drivers, and mind-blowing serpentines. That's why I would not recommend you to drive without insurance. Don't forget your driving license, ID, and credit card. If you rent a car with deposit, in most cases it's paid by credit, not debit card. Once again, the service where we booked this car has this super handy filter to eliminate the deposit requiring agencies. All links in the description below, as well as the link to my travel blog called trippies.com, where I publish useful posts on the destinations we've been to. They are way more detailed than video. Check it out. And as I mentioned the roads, let's continue with the driving process in Madeira. First, parking. There are lots of paid parking zones in Funchal, in the capital of Madeira. They are all color marked. If it's a blue one, you have to pay. If it's white, it's free. But you have to be lucky to find the available spot, even if it's paid. The price is usually around €0.50 or €1 per hour. You pay in cash, get the ticket, and display it on your dashboard. However, once you leave the city, the parking near must-see site of Madeira are free. Popular Levada route, San Lorenzo, Pico Rivo, all of them have free parking zones. But you have to arrive early as they fill up pretty quickly. But all those issues are manageable, and the biggest headache with parking in Madeira is the overnight parking. There are few hotels or Airbnbs with free night parking, and we had to pay around €5 per night for our car, and our friends paid €15 per night. So try to make a more thorough hotel search than us if you don't want to pay extra. Driving, my favorite part. Well, the road signs are classic, nothing specific to know, but what you need to know about driving in Madeira is that you have to be extra careful when driving on the serpentines. The locals tend to park, or rather just leave, their cars wherever they feel comfortable to, and sometimes it might be right after the turn on the narrow road. It happened to us multiple times, the car suddenly getting into your way when you're climbing a steep, narrow road and you have to veer into the opposite lane, and it really gets on your nerves. I mean, how can they not be concerned about their cars? It's good that there is not much traffic though. And always check the itinerary that Google Maps suggests you. One of the heart attacks I've mentioned in the beginning of this video was when we decided to visit Pico de Arriero. As we started from San Martino neighborhood, which is close to Funchal, Google offered us a way through the local roads, not the main highway. But we didn't know it and followed the itinerary, which was like 5 minutes faster. The surprise was when we got to the steepest road I've ever seen. I don't know, I mean, roads like these should be banned. I didn't even film it, that's how scared I was. That was the first time when the car we were in and pressing the acceleration just reduced its speed from like 20 kilometers per hour to 3 kilometers per hour on its own. Just because it wasn't literally capable of climbing the slope. Honestly, I thought it would just stop like this and then what? Going backward, trying not to flip over? Whoa, that was the moment. And the emotions, I'm still overwhelmed. The conclusion is always stick to the main roads and avoid the local roads. Oh, I've even screenshotted the name of that road. Anyway, I'll write it here. Avoid this road. What else? There are lots of tunnels in Madeira. Sometimes the connection on your mobile phone is lost and the navigator is lost, and some mess might be happening if there is a turn you need to make right after you exit the tunnel, but the maps show that you're somewhere in the middle of the tunnel. Not so critical, but still. After 8 days driving all around Madeira, we felt really tired. Tired from the roads, from the inclines, from the chaotic parking. You just have to always be alerted. But we've seen so many wonderful places and it generously made up for the driving experience. I think it would be the last part where to go in Madeira. So I think 7 days or a bit more are enough for the island. And it's going to be a super intense week because once you're in Madeira, you have to do and see several things. It's San Lorenzo Point, which requires a 3-hour hike, a really gorgeous hike. Swimming in natural pools, checking out all the vista points, getting close to the Pico de Arriero, or even do a hike between two mountains, Pico de Arriero and Pico Ruivo. So we came to the starting point of Pico Ruivo hike. It's 11 a.m. The weather is good, no clouds, no wind. I think I'm not going to need a jacket. So let's see what it's going to be like. Walk along levadas. There are so many of them, but we chose PR11. Visiting the forest, a magical place. Kind of difficult. The stairs are killing us. The waterfalls, the cities, local cuisine. I feel like there's a need for a big post on Madeira's must-sees and do's. So yeah, renting a car is a must, and I don't want to scare you. When a car in Madeira is totally fine and everybody does it, and all those nasty moments I've mentioned are easily avoided by choosing a right type of car and being a bit more careful than usual. And if you're wondering if you can see the island without a car, I cannot say that it's impossible, but it definitely would be more time consuming. Besides, the most beautiful places and hidden gems are not covered by public transport. So don't forget to check the description below the video. All links are there, and have a great trip to Madeira. Bye!